Hello everyone! Welcome back to Doc Gilmac online tutorial. Doc Gilmac Math TV Basic Trigonometry tutorial. Are you ready for the next tutorial? So if you're ready, let's begin. The topic I will be discussing for today's tutorial is all about the graph of cosine function y equals a cosine bx. How do we graph the cosine function y equals a cosine bx? In graphing y equals a cosine bx, we should consider the pattern in one cycle, minim, wherein M is the maximum ordinate, I is the intercept, small letter m is the minimum ordinate, I is the intercept, and capital M is the maximum ordinate. Take note of that. The graph of the cosine function y equals a cosine bx have 5 characteristics where a and b are both positive. Number 1, an amplitude equal to a, which gives the maximum ordinate at a. Capital letter M is equal to a and a minimum ordinate at negative a, where small letter m is equal to negative a. Number 2, a frequency equal to b within a 360 degrees or 2 pi interval. A period equal to 360 degrees over b, or simply 2 pi over b. Number 4, the increments with a measure of t over 4 are 0, t over 4, t over 2, 3t over 4, and t. Number 5, with a pattern of minim, the coordinates of the key points of the graph starting at x equals 0 are 0 and capital letter M, t over 4 and I, t over 2 and small letter m, 3t over 4 and I, t and m, capital letter M. So take note of that. The amplitude is used to scale the y-axis, while the period is used to scale the x-axis, as shown in the figure below. Okay, let's consider the x and y axis. Let's get the amplitude, that is simply the small letter a and negative a. Okay, so we have simply the maximum point and of course the minimum point. The maximum point is at a, or simply, shall we say, it's the amplitude. And we have t over 4, t over 2, 3t over 4, and t. Wherein from 0 to t is simply what we call the period. Okay, so as you can see here in the given figure, let's have an illustrative example. Sketch the graph of the function y equals 5 cosine 2x for the interval 0, is less than or equal to x less than equal to 180 degrees, or x is greater than or equal to 0 but less than or equal to 180 degrees. Solution. Since a is equal to 5 and b is equal to 2, then we obtain the following. Number 1, or letter A, amplitude a is equal to 5, wherein capital letter M is positive 5 and small letter m is negative 5. Frequency is simply the value of b, which is equal to 2. The period t is equal to 360 degrees over 2, which is equal to 180 degrees. The increments t over 4 is equal to 180 degrees over 4, which is equal to 45 degrees. Starting from 0 degrees plus 45 degrees plus another 45 degrees is 90 degrees. Plus another 45 degrees, we have 135 degrees. Plus another 45 degrees, so we have 180 degrees. Take note, these increments are actually one cycle of the graph of a cosine bx. So take note of that. Then we have the coordinates of the key points. After getting the increments, then we get the coordinates of the key points. Okay, substituting the given values of the increments. Okay, 0 degrees. Cosine of 0 degrees times 2. 2 times 0 degrees is 0. So therefore, cosine 0 is simply equal to 1 times 5. Since the given cosine function is y equals 5 cosine 2x. So we have 5. Cosine of 2 times 45, that is simply cosine of 90 degrees, is 0. Times 5 is 0, which is simply the intercept. Cosine of 90 degrees times 2 is 180 degrees. That's negative 1. Cosine of 180 degrees is negative 1. Times 5. So we have negative 5. Okay, that's the minimum ordinate. Then we have 135 degrees times 2. That's 270. Cosine of 270 degrees is 0. Times 5 is 0. We have the intercept. And then we have 180 degrees times 2 is 360 degrees. Cosine of 360 degrees is 1. Times 5 is simply 5. Then we go back to the maximum ordinate. Take note, the graph of a cosine function is also a smooth curve, just like the graph of sine function. The only difference is simply we have the maximum ordinate, okay, for the first point. If we are to consider only the one cycle of the graph of y equals a cosine bx. So in this case, the given function is y equals 5 cosine 2x. Okay, so this is actually the graph. Okay, so as you can see, we have the pattern minim, maximum ordinate, intercept, minimum ordinate, intercept, then we go back to the maximum ordinate. So take note of that. Again, I would like to thank you for watching Doc Gilma Math TV. Stand by for my next tutorial. Stay safe everyone, and may God bless us all.